So I represent Duroflex, essentially helping India sleep better. But genuinely, right now, I just hope you don't sleep. So, and very strategically, my session has been placed right after lunch. It's a great
Correct.
testing that you've done. But yeah, sharing some of our learnings and some of our marketing efforts at Duroflex, which is a great transformation story, maybe one that many of y'all will relate to, especially legacy brands which have been around for long. So Duroflex is almost 60 years old, was traditional, and that's the slide about that pre-pandemic, this brand was a South trade only brand, right? So we were only in South India because mattress category is organized mostly in South. We were only through dealer networks. We were only a mattress brand, right? And the category, just to give you a little snippet about how the category is, it's still about 60% unorganized. So many of y'all who's from Bombay, maybe you can own up. You'll have bought a gadda or still sleeping on a gadda. Anybody wants to lift their hands who bought like a dealer-made mattress still? Yeah. Thank you for the honesty. But that's a reality. It's not about income groups. The category is largely unbranded, even today. But that's the truth of a lot of categories, right? So essentially, there's so much room for us as marketers to transform brands, to create brands, and it's really a marketer's paradise right now. And we managed to do that in some way. So coming back, South regional offline only brand, push marketing, typical traditional marketing, right? Only a mattress brand. Today, we are national only omni brand, which means our price and product have parity across offline and online, which most of the brands, probably none even now, don't have. So either there's an offline digital native brand, which is a particular product portfolio, a particular price point, or there are legacy offline brands. And we are probably the only ones to do an omni brand. Very strong number two national brand within 2 years. How did we do it? A lot of engagement driven activities. So I'll show you some of the content that we've done. When I say engagement, definitely tech at core now, but also really understanding what is the content piece. How do we understand the consumer sentiments? How do we really connect with them? So much so in pandemic, when Prime Minister really announced the lockdown, we went in with our communication of how sleep builds immunity. There was nothing to sell there. I mean, nobody was going to buy a mattress listening to that. But we genuinely believed in the cause of sleep. We had the knowledge to share. And we kind of communicated that for 3-4 months without any business. So if you have a purpose and if you're really committed to that, everything is an opportunity to connect with your consumer. It cannot be only very transactional and sales driven. And that's what we've managed to achieve. So today, we call ourselves a sleep solution company. We've gone beyond mattresses. We don't not focusing on mattress as our purpose anymore. It is one of the best sellers as a category that we have. It is our core bread and butter, but that's not our business proposition anymore. So that's really the transformation that we've done. Some examples on how we did it. Solve for emerging needs as one bucket, which means the minute we stopped seeing ourselves as a mattress brand and we started seeing ourselves as a sleep company, we wanted to know what is that consumers wanted, right? So we launched products. One of our big launches and India's only virtual launch of a product during the first phase of lockdown was an antiviral mattress protector, which helps, protect your mattress. And it was not a behavior that had happened in India. It is a Western behavior. Because as I said, हम तो गद्दा खरीदते हैं, तो protector तो दूर की बात है. But we managed to inculcate that into the audience, into our consumers. And people have started buying that now because they understand the importance. People were spending like 12 hours on a mattress. So obviously, if the kids are there and there's your pet coming in and you're sitting there and working, then you can't clean the mattress every day, but this is washable. So we recognized that need, launched those products. We launched accessories. We launched now comfort furniture, which is an extension of sleep. So we've got into a lot more other categories, which is beyond mattresses, right? Which is a totally new business proposition. Then we've always now, post-pandemic, kept the brand at core. So even During lockdown, we did a lot of CSR activities because our factories were open. We gave away free mattresses, and one of the visuals that you see is of a CSR campaign. We gave away free mattresses to the underprivileged, right? Because there were rains and there was COVID and the mattresses needed to be replaced. So our constant endeavor has been how do you connect with the audience, and that might not be a direct consumer, but somebody who needs to sleep better at any given point of time. What we also did was cultivate a very strong influencer currency, which means that how do we learn from other categories, beauty, fashion, categories which use not only influencer marketing, but word of mouth, recommendations very strongly. How do you get that into the business? In reality, this business, almost 80% is word of mouth. How do you get consumers to really buy the product without really selling to them? One-to-one connectivity. So while we used it on social media platforms like Instagram using the regular influencers, we also had a lot of incentivizing programs to our consumers, right? And then the fourth one, this category was sold at only very, very traditional stores. So you wouldn't want to spend long time there. You would go to a dealer whom you're very familiar with, but don't know how to navigate that environment. Obviously, you don't want to sleep on a mattress that is displayed there because of the environment, right? So we launched our own experience centers to say that we were looking at the whole growth in a very D2C, in a very offline plus online omni way, and not only let's just sell on a website or let's just grow online disproportionately. So it's very important that you understand what your business strengths are. Don't give that up while you grow in the modern way also. Yeah, so continuous engagement with consumers, continuous conversations on sleep through social media, through PR, through digital. There's a lot of myth that PR probably is large scale events. It is about doing something which is pompous, you're launching something, that's PR. But we've effectively grown our brand with zero money during pandemic purely through PR, right? What did we do? We spoke about what we have to offer. How do we get it to you during lockdown through media? We spoke about how sleep builds immunity, how sleep affects vaccination efficacy, things which consumers wanted to know. And you seeded it through PR. So we didn't need any money at a time when marketing dollar was zero. PR was our biggest strength, right? And today PR is a lot digital. So you can really, with the power of one release, you can really make it, I wouldn't say an ad, but almost equivalent to that. That's the power of real narratives today. So it's not always, and this is something I'm glad we're coming out of the myth that just, pardon me if any pure growth marketers are sitting here, but the whole drive on how digital is broken into so many pieces and growth marketing is what gives you sales. I think for omni brands, that's something that doesn't apply, at least in my experience. You really have to look at every narrative that you're putting out there. How does it add up to the consumer who's evaluating your brand? So definitely PR was one. Social media, of course, we all know. And strong network of stores. So we had about 1,000 plus dealers. While we were growing our D2C network, we also held the dealers' hands. We also upgraded their environment, revamped their stores, and we expanded our own stores as well. So for legacy brands, it's very important, again, that you don't give up what you already have. You improve that. You don't shift from one reality to another reality overnight, because then you have nobody to cater to, right? So that the network that you build, the dealer network, use it to your advantage, because other brands might not have that. And with that power of consumer base that you have, you can go digital and engage with your audience as well. What we also managed to understand and do was that is not only a medium to sell, it is also a medium that our brand can be discovered. So all the marketing, all the spend we were doing to drive traffic to our website, we were not looking at just conversions. We were looking at discovery, time spent, how much which is the consumer coming in and understanding the brand. And those were our metrics, which can change later on, but for a growing brand, that's very important not to get lost in just transactional metrics. And that's what we managed to do. We also created the network of website and marketplace together as one, not something fighting one versus the other, because we sell on Amazon, Flipkart, which are our leading marketplaces. So it's not that we want to differentiate between a website consumer or a marketplace consumer, because similarly offline, we have dealer stores and we have our own stores. So our digital ecosystem also is created in a way that whoever gets the share of sale, your marketing dollar is proportionately, allocated. It's not that then the CAC goes up and the website team is fighting with the marketplace team कि हमारा तो customer less CAC में आ रहा है, आपका ज़्यादा आ रहा है. I think those realities of an omni brand should be brought into place. The other is we are a very unique category, different from repeat purchase categories, which is LTV is not at all a metric for us. Our customer comes back in 10 to 12 years, so loyalty, though, if they remember the brand they've bought, it's a great thing, right? So for us, post-sale experience and them liking the product and us understanding what their experience is, solving it, and then, of course, getting good reviews from it is a big piece. And there's a lot of investment, and we'll talk about how WebEngage is also somewhere plays there, or we want them to play there, is that post-sale for categories like ours, which have a long replacement cycle, is as much a marketing effort as pre-sale or during sale conversion strategies, because it's really the power of one customer getting a referral and converting another customer, one review read. And you all would have experience, right? If you're buying a washing machine, if you're buying a branded mattress, you do your research online. So reviews really matter. CRM team really matters. So we set that up along with the time the brand was growing. So in a nutshell, what we managed to do during pandemic was really put our heads together and put all pieces of the puzzle and say, how can we get all this up together? While our marketing efforts were on to connect with the consumer, to create conversation, which meant that in the long term, we would be known for sleep and not mattresses. Operationally, we got all these pieces together. We got the marketing team to work with product, to work with supply chain, because getting a mattress early is a big ask from consumers. So get them to work with supply chain, get them to work with CRM, really getting the whole, cross-functional team activity. It is not that marketing can function in a silo way, right? You have to come together, really correct your business. And I remember the morning session also talking about it, that you have to first design your business to serve to the consumer and not market what you have, right? That doesn't work anymore, is our learning as well. So this is the experience center that we launched. Very different from how mattresses were sold. Of course, a lot of awards for all these activities, what we won. But what we managed to do is remove the dissonance from the consumer's mind that mattress requires lesser money or lesser intelligence or lesser of your time to invest. It's not an important product. And of course, COVID was a great accelerator in that knowledge to help us as well. That, yeah, my sleep is important. And in the morning, I was having conversation with few folks, and we were talking about sleep, which is amazing, because a few years back, nobody would engage in such conversations. So definitely, timing is right, and how do you make the most of it? So while our online activities went up, so did our offline environment too. And this really helped us get the consumers to the store, sleep on the product, really understand the benefits, spend time without fearing, be in hygienic environment, and really convert for the brand. The other thing that I like to talk about, and I have some videos which will help you understand as well. While we were doing all this, so we were doing marketing activities to sell, we were launching products, we were talking about sleep. We were very committed on continuing our conversations and doing large-scale efforts to connect with the consumers around sleep. So on World Sleep Day, which happens in March, we said, okay, how do we connect with them in a way that has not been done before, in a manner which really they believe in, And what better than music, right? So music was something that was never experimented in the country and I think beyond. We launched an IP called Sounds of Sleep. So Sounds of Sleep is a musical to recreate lullabies, forgotten regional lullabies, and across languages. And we launched it last year. We had the season 2 this year. And it was a great success. It was something we didn't imagine. We just put out there. We worked very hard on it, but we didn't have any metric or number. Because for us, we always have this small bucket of money kept aside to do anything around sleep, which we don't measure transactionally. So this was that budget. So nothing was expected out of it in terms of numbers, but we really put our heart and soul into it. And definitely the results show. What it was, we got Kalki Kochan, who was then talking about her bringing up her baby on Instagram, and she was a real mother. We got her to host it. We got a lot of influencers, parents to talk about it. We got the top artists in the country to recreate it so melodiously, which stuck on with young parents. And the results were just amazing. I mean, a lot of numbers over there, but basically it meant that we were one of the most engaging properties during that time on YouTube, which is a very large platform. We trended on Twitter, social media. So it went viral. Of course, nothing is viral without putting in little money, but it was a lot more overwhelming kind of a feedback that we got than we expected. And this did not have any business connect, right? Again, to say that brands are built with love. Brands are built to take care of your consumers beyond what you sell. And a sustainable brand is one that goes beyond the absolute number of mattresses sold, number of CAC, amount of consumers visited. All that is important. But beyond that is really the fundamental truth of building a sustainable brand. Of course, the medium has changed. Today it is digital, but that's a medium. I think we should not forget that finally the consumer wants to come to you because they connect with you and they believe that you're putting out honest conversations. And this was definitely one such property. The other was, so this category was dominated largely by mature male faces. Not much done in the large visible arena because, as I said, it was a very boring legacy sort of a category earlier. And definitely nothing close to being female or young, right? So during pandemic, we said we'll go for a national brand ambassador. And we went with Alia Bhatt, of course, before she got married and pregnant, which was even a bigger risk because typically married couples is a great choice. So in fact, she would have been greater even now in her journey. But we went when she was single. She was young. She was very fiercely herself, right? She was a face of the youth, a little more gender neutral, though she's female. And we went with her as a national brand ambassador at a time when we hadn't gone national yet. So we were still a digitally national, but offline South brand. We launched her in the North Indian market, everywhere else, even in South, and we became a national brand. Definitely the power that a new face can bring is there, but you're thinking behind it to choose the face. What does it mean to you? Who's the consumer you want to connect to? So we wanted to connect to a younger millennial, and it didn't make sense if we went behind the obvious choices, and this is something that worked. So in a nutshell, we've kind of done a couple of things. While it looks very different from each other, when you connect the dots, it makes sense as to what we want to do. There are a couple of videos that I've put together. We'll talk about it. 3 very different kind of narratives. And we'll talk about it. Maybe I can ask you how it stitches together towards what we want to do. So just bear with me about 2-3 minutes to see this.
Your bed. It has been a lot of things. A haven for a hard day's night. The reason why weekends start right. A snug corner for good habits. A playground for little wabbits. It has stayed up with you on binge-watching nights. It has had your back through spreadsheets and slides. Your bed has done a lot for you. Now it can keep you safe too. Stay in. Stay safe. Stay home.
Welcome to Duroflex Sounds of Sleep, a series that explores how music aids sleep. Series 1 celebrates regional lullabies collected from across India. I will bring you one soothing lullaby each week. India's best stories, specially curated to connect us all back to our roots.
हो गया? थैंक यू। देखो, मैं भाषण नहीं दूंगा, सिर्फ फायदे की बात करूंगा। ये देख रहे हैं आप, ड्यूरोफ्लेक्स की ड्यूरोपेडिक मैट्रेस, मेरे बैग का परफेक्ट सपोर्ट। मजे की बात तो ये है कि मार्केट में इसे कोई रेकमेंड ही नहीं करता। वो दुकान वाला बोल रहा था, अरे सर ब्रांडेड क्यों लेना है, अंदर सब सेम ही होता है। मैं बना के देता हूं ना आपको, सस्ता पड़ेगा। भाई मेरे बैग का सवाल है, यही सोच तो बदलनी है। और मेरे बैग को चाहिए साइंटिफिकली इंजीनियर्ड मैट्रेस। इंजीनियर हूं ना, पहचान गया। इसके 5 जोन ऑर्थोपेडिक लेयर मेरे बॉडी के प्रेशर पॉइंट्स को सही हिसाब से एडजस्ट करता है, और ये सीधा फैक्ट्री से सैनिटाइज होके आता है। So extra sleep with extra safety. And the best part is, it is recommended by National Health Academy. 2021 की टॉप टिप देता हूँ, जैसे इस साल बदला है ना, अपनी सोच भी बदल डालो।
Hi. What's the mattress?
I couldn't sleep properly.
Matter पता है, मैट्रेस पूछ रही हूँ। जीनियस, बिना सोचे मैट्रेस ले लिया।
नहीं, मैट्रेस तो मैट्रेस होता है ना।
Just get a Duroflex mattress. 50 years of trust, 5 zone full body support, great sleep, and also it's a doctor recommended orthopedic mattress range. Nothing like Duroflex.
Yeah. So 4 pieces of the work that we like the most. Very different pieces, right? You had somebody talking about stay home, stay safe during a time when lockdown was there and we wanted people not to get out, and how we spoke about your bed and your bedroom as a safe haven. Then moving to, we had Sounds of Sleep, which, as I told you, it was just pure music, which is a great sleep aid, by the way. Research has proven it's a great sleep aid. We had influencer Pratik Gandhi, who was very popular during, the time Scam came out, and that time we released this when he was at an all-time high, which is talking about pure product benefit. The product that he spoke about, which is from our Duropedic range, to our all-India 360-degree digital plus ATL campaign, which is category change behavior from the Gadda to a branded product and nothing like Duroflex. So it's very important, and that is what this is about now, the future that we are getting into, that it's very important that you create content, you create communication to really solve for the consumer's journey. What is it that you want to talk to them in a very, very segmented way? Who's the consumer you want to talk to? For Sounds of Sleep, it was purely the young parents. We were not talking to everybody and anybody, right? With Alia, it was that customer who refuses to give up the gadda because their family has been buying and refuses to change. So it's very important that you break down your communication. Therefore, in MarTech, when you're deploying MarTech, when you're deploying engagement tools, it's no different, right? You have to be very clear with your partners as to what is that journey that they should solve for. Of course, choose partners, but also sometimes grow partners to be part of the larger journey. And that's what we are getting into, that we want to be very clear that we have very simplified metrics right through awareness, through advocacy. Because as I said, we are not about loyalty at all. Our brand is about advocacy. One customer referring to another customer, right? And that is only possible through tech deployment, where you're able to segment down the consumer, break it down to that one consumer, but also connect with them with the right piece of content. So we are doing a lot of things at Duroflex right now, learning as we go on MarTech. We have deployed a tool on GMB management because we have a vast network of stores. Awareness, of course, is all the marketing efforts. We have a social listening tool. We are revamping our website. But we've deployed WebEngage right from, consumer reputation, conversion to advocacy. So reputation from understanding, how do you maintain the consumer in a CDP format? How do you own the consumer first party data? And then how do you use a tool like WebEngage, which is as powerful, and hopefully we can become a case study client for you guys, because we're not only looking at it from just a pure conversion deliverable. So we've not even given that agenda to both the teams that, get us more consumers. It is about every consumer who comes to the website, and eventually when the data is matched with our stores, what is that consumer absorbed? How much more can they absorb? And why did they leave off? What can we do better? So within 2 months, some early data, but very exciting stuff. We wanted the consumers to engage more, right? We wanted them to read about the product on the website more. Our time spent on the website has gone up 4 times with WebEngage within a few months, which is huge. Our conversion after drop off from the cart, after the communication has gone up by 2x. So these are very early stages. The bounce rate, which used to be a big challenge, because when you do a lot of growth marketing activities, it's not necessarily easy to get the right audience, right? But when it's your own consumer database and your creatives are pretty sharp, it's very easy for you to give them the right messaging which will attract them. So our bounce rate has gone down by 50%, which is a huge win. So some of those things we are learning as we go along, but it is needed that you understand what business you are in, what is your KPIs, and not really, because there's a lot of jargons out there, not fall for those jargons and start applying everything and trying to. And if you guys are not from marketing teams, please don't chase your marketing teams to deliver everything. It's not possible. Choose the right metric and make sure that it's that one simplified metric. And definitely tech at core with tools which are coming in. We are very happy trying to plug in. We are very happy with WebEngage as a tool because it offers us that understanding of really our consumer coming to the website, and we do hope that we'll connect the offline audience with it. And the stage, I think both of us are in as teams. We all will learn and we'll probably do something different and be able to become, an example to a lot of legacy brands like ours, who are now as much a D2C brand, as much a digital native brand in our understanding of consumers. So that was our journey. And I've done my time. Thank you.